All right. So I didn't analyze at the beginning of the day, but we can take a look at this now. Today really ended up being a downward move. It looks like it's testing the overnight lows. Um, but in relation to yesterday, it's very much the same, just ranging. So prices were trending up. Well, in the overnight, I think 5 o'clock came right at this crazy move. I'm not sure if my chart is accurate. Um, and then you get this third entry. So you might argue for that to be like a triple bottom. So, I mean, I'm going to mark that green, but that does look like a trap. So if you saw that, you might take it. Get a correction here. This kind of looks like a double bottom too. So you might take this one too, but that's looking congestive. Excuse me. Wrong spot. And then you get this lower high. So I just don't think you want to go take that lower high going into this this level. But and I mean, yeah, there's no trend channel telling us to take that either. Let's see though. Yeah, I don't know. Because you know, it might not have your trend line drawn like this. You might have it drawn like that. And in that case, we didn't touch the lows. So that's a tough call. I'm going to mark that green though. I'm looking at it. That would be a lower high. Anyway, come down here. You get a failure, but that's beneath the EMA. This is just a correction, it looks like. But we just continue to go higher. Because that looks like a spike and channel down. My chart might be inaccurate. We get this range right here. No entries in here. Breaks out, fails, goes lower. We get this bounce here, and that's where you should probably draw your potential trend channel. And you get a failure right here. I mean, I like that. I like the look of that. But you might think of that as a double bottom, so you might be a little leery of that. But then you could also say that that looks like a breakout pullback. Regardless, you get the second entry long. Not a good setup. Higher low comes here. Nothing comes of that. It doesn't get triggered. You get the failed second entry right here. And this is far from the EMA, but it looks pretty darn good. I'm going to actually have to mark that aggressive. It looks pretty good, though. Super bullish bar. But these signal bars, that's another thing, is these signal bars were just huge. Just way too much risk. Come up here, you get a second entry, and it looks like they stopped those people out. So I'm not sure how you could try and keep yourself from that. If you do draw this, does the midline? There's not a whole lot of proof of this midline up until that point, but we had an overshoot. You want to be careful. So first entry, there's a failure here, but it's just not. Well, actually, the failure happens right here, I think, probably. So new high, lower high. That's like a breakout pullback, but I don't think I would be going short at this point. First entry, second entry, looks like that might have been a trap. This just kind of looks like prices are ranging, so I'm not too crazy about any of this. That does look like a second entry, but I just don't think you can take that. Get like a breakout pullback here. this is probably, you would probably have to redraw your lows to this. Yeah, that's probably it right there. And we get further confirmation. You might risk this. It's kind of just in no man's land. It's like a failure, but it's way below the EMA. And this kind of looks like a channel down. So, yeah, that looks like a channel down. So that's kind of risky. But I would feel like it's going back to the EMA with a bullish bar like that. Second entry doesn't look good here. Technically, that's a new low, so this is a failure, but that's a doji below the EMA, so not feeling that. This is, we just came off the EMA, so I don't like that for going short, and we're going up, so we're on our way to make a new high. This looks like it is a new high, so you get this correction. Once that breaks, I'd be looking for a failure. So ooh, you might have gotten trapped there. That's too bad. There are some hints. So yeah, I mean, this is too congestive to be looking for a failure. There are hints for you to not go long. Look at that. That's clearly congestion. I don't think you take these shorts, but I could be wrong. I mean, we're trending up. Spike and channel down. I don't see anything I like in there. There's a hidden second entry right here. There's a second entry right here. Not a great signal bar. Far from the EMA. Slightly aggressive. This is a double bottom. First entry, second entry. And then we start, the buyers come in. I think, yeah, at the 4,000 mark. Congestion shoots up. This was a hidden second entry long, but it's not off a trend channel, so that's too risky. First entry failure. It's a doji. It's above the EMA, so you're not going short there. You get this tight yellow channel down, and that's within this greater blue channel, and that forms some pink congestion, and you get a first entry, second entry. Signal bar is no good for a second entry, but it's a double test. It also looks like this is a new high, first entry. Oh, wow. Okay, so no, I thought I was looking at it as failure. Oh, okay, yeah, it is a failure technically because we didn't break below this. So there are reasons to take this that I liked with room down to the lows of this range. Then you get a first entry, second entry if you didn't take that one. Come down here, get a pretty big leg down. First entry, second entry. Why did I mark this aggressive? Oh, because this looks like a double bottom. So we continue to move down in that channel. We hit, we come down here and we form this level of resistance. We come up, we test it again, and then you get a second entry down here after these tests failed. So I think that's a pretty good bet. Come down here, first entry, second entry, lower high. Kind of just, this looks like the second entry anyway. And then you get a failed second entry long. Some really good entries right there. And then we have this big uptrend. So this is a pretty nice move up. This is the second entry, but it's below the EMA. We're also now at the overnight lows. So we broke beneath those a little bit, bounced back. There's a failure right here, but that's too congestive. This is all too congestive. You might take this one. I'm going to mark this one blue. I think in the context, if you're reading this right, I think you can take that. And that's a big move. That's a really big move. 955, 972, 17-point move pretty easily. You got a second entry, but you can't really take that below the EMA on a day like today. High or low, it doesn't set up. First entry, this looks like a second entry, doesn't set up. Failure right here, doesn't set up, too far from the EMA, and that just brings us into 12 o'clock hour. And this just looks like a range of the downward bias. It's third entry right here. First entry, second entry, I like that. So that's what I saw for today. All right, I hope everyone had a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow.